There's a quiet power in silver strands, the way they catch the light, soft and reflective, like moonlight resting gently against the skin. It's not loud, not trying to be, and yet it speaks volumes. But here's the truth no one tells us. The biggest reason gray hair looks old isn't the color. It's what we accidentally do to it. Sometimes we try to treat it like our old hair, and sometimes we ignore it completely. That's when the shimmer fades. And when you glance at your reflection and think, do I still look like me? It stings. But if you've ever felt invisible, dull, or unsure in your gray, you're not wrong for wanting more than natural. You deserve radiant. Because gray isn't a fading, it's a shift, a new kind of light. And when cared for intentionally, it can be luminous, elegant, alive. So today, we're unlocking that light, step by step. Not with dye, not with drama, just simple, real ways to bring your silver back into the spotlight. And it starts with the most surprising one: a single switch in the shower. Let's begin with your silver's clarity. If your gray hair ever looks more golden than silvery, this is why. It's not damage, it's not your fault. It's just buildup, sunlight, hard water, pollution. Over time, they sneak yellow into your silver, and before you know it, the shimmer dulls. The light gets lost. But the fix? It's surprisingly simple. Swap your regular shampoo for a gentle purple or blue tinted one. These cool-toned cleansers don't dye your hair. They don't change who you are. They just softly neutralize the brassiness, like watercolor washing over a warm canvas. I had a friend, Marcia, who always said, "My gray looks more beige than silver." She tried a violet shampoo twice a week. Nothing fancy, just consistent. By the second week, her silver caught the light again. Not loudly, just clean, quiet, confident. That's what this step does. It lifts the haze. It brings back definition. It lets the light in. You don't need much. Just a lavender-tinged lather once or twice a week. Your strands will breathe. The yellow will fade. And what's left is clarity. But clarity is just the beginning. Because even the brightest silver can still feel rough or lifeless. And that shimmer you want, it doesn't come from tone alone. It starts with moisture. And that's where we go next. When your hair catches the light just right, that shimmer isn't luck. It's moisture. There's a softness hydrated gray hair holds, a texture that quietly glows, not greasy, not heavy, just smooth enough to reflect light and hold it, like mist over silk, like silver under moonlight. But here's the myth we've been fed. Gray hair is coarse. Gray hair is dry. No, it's not the color that creates dullness. It's the lack of care. As we age, yes, natural oils decrease, but dryness is not your destiny. And hydration isn't a luxury. It's the beginning of shine. A few drops of leave-in conditioner, a creamy mask once a week, a touch of lightweight oil on damp ends. These aren't treatments, they're rituals. Each one rebuilds softness. Each one teaches your strands to move again, to glide, to catch the light, to feel like you. I'll never forget when Diane, 72, all silver, tried a deep moisture mask for the first time. She touched her hair the next morning and whispered, "I didn't think it could feel like this anymore." Because shine doesn't come from sparkle, it comes from feel. So if your gray has felt wiry, stiff, tired, start with softness. Not to tame it, but to bring it back to its natural flow. And once your strands are soft again, we can shape the light. Because movement means nothing if the shape doesn't catch it. That's where the right cut changes everything. Think of Helen Mirren's soft fringe or Jamie Lee Curtis's sculpted pixie. Not flashy, not trendy, but radiant in the most effortless way. That glow, it's not just hair color, it's shape. There's a myth that gray hair has to be short, that it loses movement, that softness fades with age. But gray responds beautifully to structure. It reflects light through angles. It holds volume when given the chance. And it comes alive when you stop fighting it. If your gray feels flat, heavy, tired, the color isn't the culprit. It's the cut. Just a few gentle layers, a soft face frame, a little lift at the crown. That's all it takes to create motion and magic. Picture strands that graze the cheekbone or a wispy edge brushing the collarbone. Now imagine the light dancing with you as you move. That's the kind of beauty you don't have to style. You just wear it. One woman, Marie, told me, "I thought short gray hair would make me look harsh, but this cut, it made me look open again." And that's the shift. Not a makeover, but a quiet return to yourself. Because the right cut doesn't erase who you are, it amplifies it. It sets your glow free. But shape is only one part of radiance, because even the most luminous cut needs strength underneath. Let's go deeper. Let's feed the hair that holds all this light. What we feed our hair doesn't come from a bottle. It comes from a plate. Every strand starts beneath the surface, alive, growing, reflecting what we give it. Gray hair, especially, needs quiet support. Not control, not restriction, just nourishment. Real, steady, loving. It's not about diets. It's not about cutting things out. It's about feeding your future glow. B vitamins to fuel growth. Omega-3s to soften strands. Antioxidants to guard against dullness. You don't need labels. You don't need powders. You need food that feels like care. A handful of walnuts, rich and earthy. Salmon, soft, flaking like silk. Olive oil glistening on roasted vegetables. Berries that burst with color. Greens so crisp they snap between your fingers. These aren't superfoods. They're quiet rituals. Every bite a whisper. I choose to support myself. And the result? Stronger roots, fuller texture, a glow that doesn't wash out because it comes from within. One woman wrote to me, "I didn't change my hair routine at all, just my meals. And people started asking if I'd colored my hair because it suddenly looked alive again." That's the difference inner care makes. So the next time you cook, don't think discipline. Think softness, strength, glow from the inside out. And once your hair is nourished, it's ready to shine. Not loudly, not artificially, just enough to catch the light in motion. Let's give it that final touch. It only takes one drop, but it's the difference between flat and glowing. After all the nourishment, the softness, the shape, this is your final flourish. A light-reflecting serum, a glossing mist, a delicate oil that doesn't weigh you down, just invites the light to play. Think candlelight brushing a wine glass, or silk drifting through a sunbeam. It's not about shine that shouts. It's about the kind that whispers. Just a drop or two pressed gently into the ends, or a soft mist across the crown. It doesn't change the hair. It simply frames what you've built. I once told a woman, "You don't need more hair. You just need light to find it. She tried a pearly serum for the first time and later said, "I caught my reflection and I smiled before I could think." That's what this does. Not transform, just reveal. Because when your gray is clear, hydrated, shaped, and nourished, this little step doesn't add, it completes. Like earrings you don't notice until the light hits them. Like perfume that lingers even when you've left the room. Not loud, not fussy, just enough. Enough to remind you, this hair was never dull. It was waiting to shine. And now that you've brought it to life, layer by layer, there's one last thing to say. Let's step back and see what you've really done. There's a quiet power in silver strands. We began there with the softness of light, the hush of moonlit shine, and the question many of us carry, can gray still glow? And now, maybe the answer feels different, because what once felt like fading now looks like unfolding, not giving up, but leveling up into something clearer, truer, fully yours, every step you took, toning away the brass. Welcome you back, softness, shaping light through layers, feeding strength from within, and finishing with reflection. None of it was about fixing. None of it was about pretending. It was about revealing what's always been there, waiting beneath the surface, waiting to be seen by you first. Because gray doesn't flatten, it defines. It catches light differently, but perhaps more honestly, not to dazzle, but to stay. So if you've ever looked at your reflection and second-guessed your glow, let this be your reminder. Your radiance was never in the dye. It's in how you carry light and how you let it reflect. And if this helped you see your silver in a new way, pass it along to someone else still searching for hers. Because sometimes the shine we need is already there, just waiting to be noticed.